Storyboard 18 Visionaries Delhi chapter. Storyboard 18 Visionaries is not just another industry gathering. It's a space for foresight, a place where experience meets experimentation, and where marketers come together to pause, reflect, and rethink what the future actually requires of us. So before we begin, a sincere thank you to our partners IAS and celebration partner Diageo India. Few forces are reshaping our industry as powerfully as digital media. And so, Mr. Saurabh Khattar, who's the country manager of IAS India, will be kick-starting this evening by helping decode what lies ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a huge round of applause for Saurabh. Saurabh, the stage is all yours.
Today, I'd like to discuss the evolving media landscape where the lines between performance and brand reputation are converging. We'll explore some of the most pressing challenges that modern marketers are facing today, and we'll also discuss some strategies to mitigate those risks. Today's media landscape is complex and cluttered. We are witnessing the rapid acceleration of content creation and content consumption, and signals are being created and generated at a speed we have never dealt with before. Digital media industry faces a lot of challenge today. And today I want to focus on three major challenges that marketers are facing and how to address those challenges as well. So the first one, wasted ad spend. Globally, every year, billions of dollars are being lost to wasted ad spend. Ads that land on poor media quality placements. Think of your media plan and media budgets like a fitness program. You can work out every day, you can have the best trainer, you can push harder every quarter, but if your diet is full of junk, you won't see the results you expect, right? And when junk is removed, something happens. Health begins. Similarly, when waste is removed from your ad spends, the waste is converted into working media. And you effectively unlock about 35% more working media from the same budget. Moving on to the second challenge, attention. If your phone buzzes right now, most of us will have the urge to look. Not because there's a lack of focus, but because there's too much competing for your focus. And similar thing is happening with your ads. The digital screen is kind of a battleground today, right? Every brand is bidding for the same thing, a moment of human attention. But let me be very clear about why attention actually matters in the digital media today. Not from a marketing point of view, but from a business point of view. Every brand here today is paying for exposure, right? But what is exposure without attention? It is just cost. If an ad is served but not noticed, it cannot influence consumers' perception, consideration, or action. AI is everywhere. It's shaping how content is created, how media is bought, and how campaigns are optimized. And while it has unlocked speed and efficiency, it has also introduced a new kind of clutter into the ecosystem that is called AI slop. Now, as there is a famous saying in Hindi, lohe ko loha kaatta hai. Similarly, we can use AI to spot AI risk. We use AI and ML models that detect and block AI-generated slop and MFA sites before your ad is even served. So as marketers, please make sure that the ad tech partners and agencies you work with are equipped with deep and responsible AI intelligence. Thank you.
Augmented intelligence is already reshaping how brands think and act, and to decode this shift, it's an honor to hear a special address from the very celebrated Mr. Kant, who's with us today. Sir, it's over to you, please.
I've always believed that more than anything else, marketing works on two basic principles. One is that you differentiate your product from the rest of the world. If you were to just emulate what others are doing, you will never succeed. So you work on differentiation. And second is to create unique experiences. So I've always believed in creating unique experiences. That's my belief. But it's a great pleasure to be in the midst of all of you. And we are in the midst of a very unique, incredible technological evolution. We are in the midst of the biggest era of rise of production and productivity, and that's all because of the rise of data, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is transforming the way we live. It's an area which is actually transforming every single sector, and it will also change the dimensions of marketing in a very big way. Across sectors and across geographies and across generations, this augmented intelligence is reshaping how we conceive of what is possible and what is feasible. And just about 25 years ago, we waited minutes for dial-up connections in India. We waited for it was impossible for us to do door-to-door surveys or used very telemarketing calls, etc. All that is transformed simply because the availability of data has all become real time. It's all real time. I mean, today what was not possible earlier is possible today to transform learning outcomes, health outcomes, nutritional standards, which is all physically not possible, is today possible to do all that transformation based on real-time data. And actually, we in India stand at the cusp of this revolution because we are a country with 1.5 billion digital. Each one of us have a digital identity. We all do fast payments, we do stock market transactions, we do insurance, we do credit, all within 30 seconds to 1 minute, all on the back of mobile. So we are throwing up enormous amount of data to the world. So what is actually happening is that many of these AI models of the world are getting better and better and better with data, and most of them are getting better and better and better with Indian data. Thank you very much.
Now it's time for our next session that turns the spotlight on the human side of marketing. AI is no longer working quietly in the background. Why? Because it is increasingly becoming the voice, the brain, and sometimes the face of brands. As technology accelerates scale and decision-making, the industry now faces a defining question. Will brands grow more intuitive and human, or more automated and distant? To explore how brands can scale with intelligence without losing their soul, once again, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dilshad Irani to steer the discussion.
While we talk about AI, while we talk about the challenges of slop and attention and the absolute abundance of sometimes mediocrity coming our way, we must not forget the human edge. And that is why I want to stick to that. I want to understand from each of you how you are thinking of that in your respective organizations, in your context.
As a CMO, I'm not fighting this battle with AI on efficiency. But what I believe that marketers today bring to the table is actually the ability to decide what will be optimized, what will we protect, and at what point will we ensure that human judgment will actually supersede the algorithm. And for us, at PepsiCo, consumer centricity is truly at the heart of everything we do. And everything that we build starts with the consumer, and a consumer buys into emotions, culture, empathy. And that's the heart of how we build our brands. And therefore, for me, I think AI is a great ally. It allows me the ability to, look at lots of data. It allows me to look at trends. It allows me to look at regional nuances. It does all of that. But the heart of how we build our brands will still remain at the core on how we're able to connect with consumers in a human way. So I actually feel that in the times of AI, the role of a marketer is actually tougher. It's actually a little more heightened than it ever was, because I'm not just looking at data, I'm actually deciding what to do with it, and at what point to say that my judgment is actually going to supersede what this algorithm says. So that's how we're building our brands.
When you speak about personalization, especially with AI, we are looking at two things very specifically. One, timeliness. So we can ensure that the fraud does not happen before it happens. Second, we communicate far better, and we have control over the human emotion so that we can add to the trust that we bring to the equation as Visa. So I think we have to look at it as a solution, as an architecture on where we are plugging it. AI has to be the core, or we are looking at it from a core perspective and trying to change every bit in marketing as well. Like our briefs are no longer just 2-pager documents, 3-pager documents. They're now visual, and AI tools are helping us make it a visual storytelling device rather than writing 3 pages of long form content to the agencies. So we are looking at every opportunity to optimize or use AI as a tool, and right from product stacks to even communication. I think everything is going under a transformation journey right now.
AI is helping us make our solutions more efficient and more smarter. There are, most of the times, whether we are in B2C or B2B, plus minus 10%, 50 to 60% of our time goes in doing operational stuff, mundane task. That is something which AI is going to take away from us, which is good news, because it is going to help human beings do best what they are supposed to do, which is to think. By solving the problem of efficiency more efficiently, AI is helping brands to become original. Because end of the day, customers or consumers are not going to buy solutions because you are ahead of other companies in AI. It is going to be based on what's the DNA of your brand, what's the value proposition. Eventually, are you delivering on the promises which you are making? So by ensuring that on one side you are becoming more efficient, and on the other side your marketing team is becoming more like an original thinker in terms of really differentiating vis-a-vis others, is going to make a big difference.
With AI tools, I always think that it will give you a lot of power, a lot of leverage to do your daily job brilliantly. But I think this is where the distinction starts to happen. Tools give you equal platform to everyone in this room, and it gives you that extra time to do what you wish to do. But the real value is unlocked when people start to use those tools and then think beyond that. In our sector, healthcare, medicine discovery is a super critical thing, not just for the marketing function, for the humanity itself. And that's where beyond marketing also I've seen how AI, how more predictive technologies are really helping us find better molecules and so on and so forth in a faster period. I think that's how I really think. I think tools give you the license to play, but not the license to win. Really, people who get that leverage of time, right, that 20-30% extra time that you have, and then put that to work, are the ones who are creating that value on top. So that's how I think.
I think we agree that it's not a choice between an algorithm and a human. But what the AI and the algorithms today are doing is it's bridging the gap real time between what a consumer needs and what a brand provides. And that window is becoming shorter as we are moving into this new era of marketing, I would say.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Our next panel will explore how creativity is evolving, how storytelling is being reimagined, and how personalization can coexist with consistency to build brands that last How do you preserve that legacy of these brands, and how do you use AI now to transform storytelling?
There is no conversation today that doesn't happen without AI. So I'll start the conversation by saying even Maggie has AI in it. But the artificial intelligence part there is absolutely not what we're talking about. There's magic in the brand. There's magic in the aroma. So what AI is helping us today, and it's similar for a lot of large brands, is personalization at scale, right?
How do you preserve the brand equity in times of AI? And it's not just going to be Maggie specific, but more like Nestlé specific.
See, I'll contrast that with two of the categories that we're in, right? So we've recently started scaling up our presence in pet care, Purina.
Wow.
And internally we call Purina as the Maggie for pets. So there is absolute magic in being able to personalize our conversations on Purina. We now can identify who are the pet parents, what are they looking for, and how and why. We're able to have conversations from our global setup, bring in, adapt it to the Indian market. We know that the cat market is a lot bigger and better. So yeah, so two ends of the spectrum, and easy for us to now be able to have conversations that can carry the essence of our brands. Purina we are creating, Maggie we are continuing.
Chandan, how's life in times of AI, especially when it comes to hyper-speed commerce environment?
So yeah, we're doing some cool stuff with AI. A lot of our performance creatives are now, we can now customize these creatives city-wise or even pin code-wise. A lot of personalization that you see on the app, your app experience is very much personalized. So what shows up on your app is not what will show up on his app, depending on your habits, and not just what you have ordered in the past, but demand prediction of we think that this is relevant to you basis your habits and not what we have seen as others are buying. So a lot of demand prediction, personalizing the in-app experience.
Contextual communication, how does that work out for Zepto?
In performance marketing also, we're doing a lot of customization, like I mentioned, city-wise. And the creators are doing really well. We see better metrics than the non-AI ones that we used to do earlier. I think the consumers are consuming AI content and they're accepting AI content more than regular short content. So that's good news.
How are you building on that offline retail behavior? How do you bridge that, say, with digital storytelling or even personalization?
We have a good presence across both B2C and we also have a sizable supply to restaurants. Now, why I'm mentioning this is because you know we draw significant insights from offline and translate those into performance marketing on online. You know, and I'll give you a couple of examples. What we learn from offline, you know, from our offline behavior is that consumers typically purchase our products on a Sunday afternoon because family time is non-negotiable for them, you know, and the family's together and they want to eat that. What we learn from our restaurant partners is that you know the category, the QSR and French fries category, is largely a functional category in metros. But if you think about a place like Charkhi Dadri or you think about a place like Gwalior, there people actually dress up to come to a small QSR. Yeah? So basically it is celebratory. So what AI helps us do is marry the consumption occasion with the emotion behind the need for consumption and turn out creatives. You know, the AI is as good as what the creative brief is, and the creative brief, we refine it via a lot of our offline insights.
How do you actually incorporate originality, say, for luxury items? And how do you, in fact, balance that challenge of craftsmanship, positioning Jaguar as a premium brand as well?
We are not a DIY country. And bathroom and lighting as a product, you know, you always wanted to have a great bathroom or a great lighting. So majority people don't understand difference between white light, you know, a yellow light, product self. We generate almost about 50 lakh footfall on a website on a monthly basis for a category like bathroom. And then we realize that how to make sure I engage with these customers. So we built a platform which is just in a testing phase. What we realized, people don't know where to start a journey. If you want to have a great bathroom, basically we have come to a point that to engage an end customer on a website, we are basically asking a couple of basic questions in terms of family size, the budgets, things like that. So well, basic things, which generates a BOQ automatically for him. From a BOQ, we generate a 2D drawing and a 3D drawing for him. And with this IP, I can track him, which is my closest dealer. Okay? So now armed with this data, this guy walks up to a dealer showroom, even he's interacting with an architect, he's far, far more informed.
Okay.
So, right now from the point is, this is the kind of intervention and doing in many spaces. So when you reach out to your customers in this structured way, with the help of technology, I think you are making a point.
How are you capitalizing on AI, especially when it comes to, say, storytelling that's resonating across diverse households?
Basics of brand building is about delivering a relevant promise consistently over a period of time. Those are the 4 basic tenets that haven't changed since the inception of brand building. What AI helps us do in this age and all the structure, etc., these are all tools, I think, to just manage, accelerate different parts of the same equation. For example, relevance. Consumers are changing, their habits are evolving. We still continue to believe that people buy appliances with a utility mindset in place. Maybe not. And an air fryer is a classical example of it. Frankly speaking, you've been eating this food all your life. You will continue to eat it. Your kitchens were running before it came, and your kitchens are still running with it. Utility is very little to do with what an air fryer sparks into you. It's largely built on a desire and an increased availability of monetary power in your hand, your increased propensity to spend. Now, to be able to capture these trends and innovate on the basis of these trends is something that AI smoothens out quite a lot and makes us more agile.
Many thanks to you all for joining in on this very interesting and fast-moving discussion. So dear guests, we are excited to share that Storyboard 18 is partnered with Snapchat, home to Gen Zs and the youth of India. Via a quarterly editorial trend, check that challenges prevailing marketing assumptions and also encourages brand leaders to rethink how they are planning, also the measures and value attention. At its core, Storyboard 18 Snapchat Gen Z Trend Checks, attention, culture, and commerce is a quarterly attention and consumer mindset series, with Gen Z as the lead indicator of where attention is forming, shifting, and converting as a broader market behavior. On behalf of Storyboard 18 and Network 18, I extend my sincere gratitude and thanks to our speakers for sharing their insights with such clarity and honesty, and to our esteemed partners, IAS and celebration partner, Diageo India, as we transition from conversation to connection